With the launch of this new season, guys, there are plenty of new drop spots and map changes that I want to go over. Not only that, we have a couple of cups coming up, including the PlayStation Cup and the Solo Victory Cup. So I want to give you guys the best spots to perform well. So the first spot I'm going to go over is this spot over here. It's near Creaky Compound. I'm going to circle it on the map for you. There you are. This spot is a solo and duo spot. It's not really a trio spot, but you have two different little splits that you can land at. You have a reboot van over here, hollow chests over here, and then chests all around in like the cabin areas. You can mine up the plants and the wood for materials. You also have the mod used for rotation. Remember, there's no rotation in this season, so you're going to need to use whatever you can to get to zone as quickly as possible. But yeah, like I said, you can land here in duos, so I'd recommend one person lands there, one person lands up on high ground. If you do get contested, make sure you land together. You can bounce on these to go up, so if you need to get the high ground quickly, you can maybe use that in a fight. Just be aware of your surroundings and use whatever you can to your ability. You also have this campfire over here, so if you really do need it, you can use that. And yeah, like I said, also chests. Let me pop up the stats of the chests on this location. Once you've boosted up this location, you can go up on the high ground like I mentioned. You can mine up the brick and then you'll be out of the jungle biome pretty much. Cross this bridge, lee up wherever you can, and then you can push over to Citadel or wherever you want. For the second drop spot I'm going to be going over is over here. It's pretty easy to locate because it's lots of near green and it's like a yellow bit on the map. But yeah, it's this castle over here. It was in the last season but it recently got a buff, so that's why I want to talk about it. So you got the hollow keys like the last drop spot, you got some chests and some ground loot as usual. But this is the brand new spot, so you get a whole vault here and it's not even a name location. That does mean there's going to be a boss here, so you're going to have to try eliminate him. And that can be hard because lots of people do tend to third party, and if you get contested, it just gets really annoying. So contestant wise, I don't think you get contested by too much. I would say like 1 or 2 teams max, but if you do get contested, just be careful finding the boss and all of that, because people tend to crouch around and just third party you during the fight. But yeah, you got another cabin over here, got a chest over here. I'll pop up the stats for this whole location. You got some slap juice as well, some ammos, and you can mine up decent mats here. Lots of slap juice and some barrels over here as well. So it's a decent spot, pretty easy to find as well. You got a whole lot of brick and wood all around. It's also sort of near the center of the circle, so you might pull zone. Whereas if you're at the edge of the map up here, you most likely won't pull zone. And even if you don't pull zone, you got the water to rotate as well if you really need to. But yeah, now let's move on to the next drop spot. For the third drop spot, you can land here in solos, duos and trios. It was here last season, but don't sleep in it just because it isn't a new biome. So right off the rip, you have a reboot van, you have hollow keys down here, you have 2 slurp trucks, 17 chests in total. So this spot is already OP right off the bat. Not only that, the mats are displayed, so I think this is where you can get the most metal on the map, which is actually crazy to think about in just one spot. So let's go in and unpack this place. So you all know this place from last season. You also have a vending machine as well. So let's just have a look at this place. Decently spot. You'll probably get like 1 to 4 people contesting you, which is quite a lot of people. Just get ready for that. I would say if you land here, you're going to need to be a decently good player and want to be aggressive for kills. But if you do come out on top, you're definitely going to be chilling with loot and you're going to be full on shield. So for metal wise, you can obviously mine all these containers all around, which is going to give you pretty much max metal for your whole team. Not only that, you have lots of wood around and brick around, so your mats will be cap mats walking out of here, full shield and a decent loadout, and even probably a couple kills as well. So that's definitely going to do you good if you do land in a tournament or a ranked game. So I know in ranked, if you don't get that many kills, you will definitely go down even if you get to a decent placement in the match. So make sure you are getting them kills up. One problem about landing at the spot is it's quite dead side of the map. Look, it's right at the top, so you'll be having to travel a long way. Remember, like I said in the first drop spot, you're going to need to watch out for rotation because there's no rotation in this season. So yeah, you're going to be walking a long way, and if people try to hold you in the storm, you definitely need to be careful for that. So if you do land here, loot up quickly and then just rotate the zone as quickly as you can. If you get lucky, you might get zoned. And then also just a little tip for you guys, when you land here, like I said, there's 2 slurp trucks and lots of barrels, so make sure you use the slurp trucks and barrels. Don't be using your shields like big shields and all that. Try to save as much shields as you can, because like I said once again, there's gonna be no rotation, so that means you're gonna have an extra spot for anything you want. So I'd recommend carrying lots of fills. My personal loadout I would go with is a Havoc, an SMG, slurp juices, and then just some other hills that you can have. So yeah, definitely remember there's going to be extra spot free, so make sure you don't just go and waste all your hills. For the fourth spot I'm going to be going over is this gas station over here. I probably will actually be landing here in a couple of tournaments. So it's this gas station, you have a slurp truck down below, you have a chest over here and a hollow chest as well. You have some mods so you can use that as a rotation. Only problem is if you are landing here, be careful because someone might land the other side and start getting picks at you, so do be careful of that. You are quite vulnerable in the open over here, so if you do loot up, just be careful with your surroundings. But apart from that, this is going to be a very uncontested spot. I'd say 2 players max will land on you. So if you're a player who just wants to go for not for much kills, just get some loot and get a couple kills, I'd definitely recommend landing here. You probably will get good placement in tournaments as well. Like I said, you got a slurp truck, so you're going to have some spare hills. You've got some brick around and some wood around, so you can mine that up. You can also mine the gas station up for metal, so you got metal over there, and then you got some brick over here that you can mine up. You also have a reboot van here, so if you do decide to do like a little split drop, you can land solos there, duos over here. Also, say I was gliding in, I would kind of try to do this and then land up and get the gun. And then if you do that, you can actually like go for picks. If someone's landing here, you're going to beat them to the gun, or even people landing in a jungle biome. So that could be very cool, and you could actually get some free kills in a tournament. Like I said, people are going to be landing here and getting picks at you, but if you get picks at them first, it'll throw them off, and especially if they haven't even landed yet. So that's definitely a good advantage to do. You can literally just bounce off that. Now we're going to move on to the final draw spot. Let's get into it. For the fifth and final draw spot I'll be going over is Shady Splits, which is the first POI I've gone over in the whole video. So this is going to be more for aggressive players, but you actually be surprised you can actually land here if you're a passive player, and I'm going to be talking about that in a second. So let's get into it. So this POI has 30 plus chests. You can actually capture a flag here, slick slurp barrels, but that's not the reason why this draw spot is so good. The reason why this draw spot is so good is because it's such a huge spot, and you can actually just land here in solos and get a little section for yourself and then just run off. So you can literally land in one of these cabins, go over here and then run off, and then you'll be set for the game. That's why this spot is so good, is because it's such a huge POI and it's stacked with loot that you can literally land somewhere, not even have to fight or spawn, get your loot and go, which is going to be really good. Not only that, you have a reboot van here, so if you do want to land here in duos or trios, you have that as an option. Like I said, it's more for aggressive players because lots of people will be landing here, but as long as you just focus on getting your loot, getting your little section of the spot and then running away, then you'll be good to go. You also have lots of mats around, which is pretty good for you, and yeah, it's just overall one of the best spots. If you want to land at a name location, Shady Stalks is definitely the one to go. It's definitely the most best for loot and just all around a very good location. I would say about 1 to 5 people will be contesting you here in solos, duos and trios, and might be a little bit different of how many teams will be landing here. Yeah, like I said, make sure you do that solo tactic where you just land in and then get the loot and dip. But if you are an aggressive player, then you can obviously get your loot and then fight the other players that landed here. Mats wise, you've got some decent wood around and brick. The only problem about this place is you don't have too much metal, but to be honest, in the whole Fortnite map you don't really have that much metal, except from one of the spots I mentioned today. So yeah, I'm going to end the video here, guys. I'm going to wrap up the video there. Hope you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below if you can use any of the drop spots and let me know if they do help during the tournaments. Good luck in your tournament. See you in the next video. Peace.